What's up, everybody? Welcome to MTGV Crime Podcast. Today we going a couple places. I hope y'all up for the ride. So we are going to Ohio, Milwaukee, Houston, Florida, and Chicago. When I tell y'all, I have my eyes on a few of these cases for the past couple days. And this is what I narrowed it down to. It's a lot that we need to talk about, a lot that you need to know, especially if you are an Uber driver. You want to know about the things that's going on, the risks that you are taking, and some of the things that you might want to use to help protect yourself. Thank y'all so much for coming in. Please be sure to smack that thumbs up. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not. Smack that thumbs up, hit that notification bell so you know every time I go live. And drop down in the comments and let me know that you're here. Again, welcome to my channel. So the first place that we are going to go, let me see, maybe Chicago. I have quite a few videos put up that I want y'all to check out. We ain't gonna waste a lot of time here. We do have a lot of things to talk about. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to the news, but it's definitely what we cover over here. We need to know what's going on in and around our neighborhoods. We got a Houston teacher that we already talked about. We spoke about her and how she was recruiting some of the students with her son, her PIMP son. But she's a teacher, so she's disguised as a person that really care about these kids. But y'all watch this and y'all be the judge. So we gonna go to Chicago first, y'all.
No, you finna shoot up the car.
We gonna go to Chicago.
Shoot up the car.
Yeah, go.
What the? What is that? What the is that? What the was that?
He just shot at the car.
For what?
Let me call the police.
Man, this.
Man, could you imagine being an Uber driver? You pick up somebody. You just going to pick up somebody on a regular day. This guy said he had 12,000 ride shares and nothing like this has ever happened. But he's in Chicago and this is how they get down in Chicago a lot of times. Man, let me know what y'all think. Do you know anybody that catch Uber rides in Chicago? Like myself, I will be afraid. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I don't trust people like that to have all of these strangers in my car. Shout out to Tamika Davis. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I don't trust people enough to have folks jumping in my car on an Uber ride. Now, DoorDash is risky too. I've seen cases with that didn't turn out well, so I'll talk about that too. But I just want to bring this to the Uber drivers, man. Listen, and this is for any and all of us, if you have not invested in a a car cam, dash cam, it is not a bad idea, because even if it don't, save your life, at least they will know what happened. And so I was happy about this Ohio Uber driver. She had a dash cam. This really broke my heart, y'all. This lady she was 61 years old, and all she was doing was her job. She was trying to make some extra money, and she got a call to go and pick up a package from a guy's house, and that's what the hell she did, y'all. But this woman lost her life doing this, and I want y'all to see what happened. When I saw this, it blew my mind. Shout out to Meadowbrook Montreal. Thank you so much for coming in. How you doing, man? This is crazy, Trill. Could you imagine going to somebody's house? You get a call, I don't know how Uber comes through, but like for DoorDash, you get a hit, you select that you're gonna go get it, and you just go pick it up. And so this woman did just that. What she didn't know, and who would have known this? The guy whose house this woman was sent to, he was an 81-year-old man who had been getting scam calls all day. Somebody trying to collect money from him. It started one way, ended another. So these people called this man's house and told him that his nephew needed his help to get out of jail. That call then turned into a threat. And then they tell the man, oh, we gonna send somebody there to pick up this $10,000 or whatever. I think it was $10,000. So this woman, she comes to pick up the package. She didn't know that it was no money. She didn't know that it was a scam or anything like that. And this woman got caught in the crossfire. So I'm gonna pull that video up first. Let me know what y'all think about what you seeing in the comments section. This is crazy. And please smack that thumbs up if you have not. So this is the first Uber one that we are going to cover, and then the other one from Chicago is going to be the next one.
Last month, video went viral of an Uber driver in the middle of a dangerous ride. He had just picked up a passenger in West...
Wrong one.
Well, we now know that 81-year-old William Brock called 911 on March 25th, saying that he shot a woman on his property. When asked why he did it, he said he had been threatened all day over the phone, and the person on the other line said that she was coming to kill Brock. However, investigators say 61-year-old Lolita Hall was also a victim of the scam and was requested to pick up a package from Brock's house.
I'm sure glad to see you guys out here because I've been on this phone for a couple hours with this guy trying to save me. Had a nephew in jail. Had a wreck in Charleston and just kept hanging on and needing bond money and what this woman was supposed to. Yeah, figured it. All right, I just kept getting different names and different stories out of him.
This body camera footage from March 25th showing the chaotic moments after an 81-year-old trying to scam him. The homeowner, 81-year-old William Brock, telling deputies he had been getting phone calls all day from a scammer saying that one of Brock's relatives needed help. Brock told deputies the scammer also told him a woman was coming to his house to get money from him. However, the woman who showed up was actually an Uber driver who was also a victim of the scam. This video was from her dash cam that was rolling when Brock confronted her at gunpoint.
Help! 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 Help!
Lolita Hall was 3 times and later died. Investigators say she was directed by someone through the Uber app to pick up a package from Brock's home.
There's a guy on the phone center here.
Okay. So Danielle on the phone was trying to get money from you, and she was knocking on the door at the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
And he was telling me he was going to kill me and the family and everybody else around.
In a crazy turn of events, the Clark County Sheriff's Office was able to get that scammer on the line. The conversation picked up on body cam.
May I ask who I'm talking to?
Yeah, this is the officer speaking.
Okay, what officer?
Yes.
No, I need to know what officer, sir.
You're going to be in trouble.
Okay, let me ask you this. The female you sent over here, you know who she is?
Yes, I do.
According to the police report, one Clark County Sheriff's Office deputy ran that scammer's phone number, and it came back to Bell Mobility in Canada. That homeowner, William Brock, has been charged with murder, felonious assault, and kidnapping. Investigators say Hall never threatened him or posed any sort of threat. They say she was also shot while trying to leave, and that he waited to call 911 until after shot.
Well, what about the person who set this whole thing in motion? Have they been able to find this person? What kind of charges could they face?
So I've been trying to figure out exactly who's handling that part of the investigation, and I reached out to the FBI Cincinnati field office, and they told me that they are aware of the incident but can't confirm or deny that they are investigating because of Department of Justice policies. As for the shooting investigation, I reached out to the Clark County Sheriff's Office and the prosecutor's office for a sit-down interview. However, neither agency wanted to talk.
That's freaking devastating. That lady was just trying to earn some extra money. She's retired, probably trying to make some money, and that happened to her. Welcome in, Lisa. How you doing? Thanks so much for being here. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I just could not imagine. And honestly, it's something that I haven't even thought about as a driver as far as, okay, for an example, because I deliver food, right? So one of the things that could happen that I've seen on YouTube is that people send pizzas to folks houses that they're messing with, that they're playing with, you know, that they got a beef with or whatever. So what if somebody sent you to drop off a pizza and this person thinking you a part of that or thinking that you're coming to hurt them? This is crazy. And the sad part is they will probably never even find the person that caused this. And I'm sure this is not the first time a scam cost somebody their life. This really broke my heart seeing this poor lady. She could barely even walk. There was a video of her. I don't know if it was in this video, but she's just walking from her car to the door to pick up something, and she barely has a good balance, just trying to make money. Like they said, this woman was no threat to him, regardless to what they were saying to him on the phone. And with him being 81, I'm sure he ain't on YouTube watching the latest scams and things that's going on in the world. I mean, they watch the news enough, but I mean, this is sad, but he definitely deserved jail time because he fired at that woman he hit her 3 times. Really? This woman was begging for her life. She was begging for help. She wasn't trying to hurt him. But I guess it was. I mean, obviously in the scuffle of her trying to save her own dang on life, they claim that he had some bleeding from his ear or some crap. But anyway, Miss Hall, suffering from medical conditions and unharmed, made no threats. Unarmed, and she made no threats of assault towards this guy and made no demands other than to ask for the package that she was sent to retrieve. Brock allegedly held Hall with the weapon and demanded to know the identities of the people who had been calling him. He also took Hall's phone and refused to allow her to leave, officials said, adding that Brock did not try to call the police at that point. This man did not call the police until after he fired on her. When Hall tried to get back into her vehicle, Brock allegedly hit her 3 times. We could hear the commotion. And she had the car cam or whatever, and everything was captured because of that, the dash cam. So that's what I was talking about, that it wouldn't be a bad idea to invest in a dash cam and even the interior, just like the Uber drivers have, because it might not save you, but it'll get the people caught. But it's extra precautions that will help, And so that's definitely something that I'm going to be looking into, because you just don't know, man. You just don't know. And it's cameras and stuff everywhere, but for whatever reason, they don't work all the time. For whatever reason, they even have they can, shot spotters. They got those all over the city. And they did hear that in one of the cases that I was watching. I don't know if I had that video, but look, it says Brock is charged with murder, which carries a penalty of 15 years to life. The court records show police are considering other charges. Brock pleaded not guilty, and his bond is $200,000. The court records show. Man, what do you say in this case? Oops, my bad. I thought you was a scammer. No, he gonna have to do that time. But this is unfortunate, man. Could you freaking imagine being that person? Even with me knowing of this stuff, I don't know how I would react if I'm on the phone with somebody and then somebody knock on my door. And then they even had the nerve to call back why the police was there. And further lie, talking about they the officer. This poor lady, man. So the lightest case that I have to cover today is the Chicago Uber driver. And the only reason why it's a light case is because nobody lost their life in this case. But when I tell y'all, it was very scary. And then the female that got in the car, she was calm. To me, she was too calm for knowing what was about to happen. And the driver was just hysterical. I mean, he was just like, he wasn't really hysterical, but he's like, what the hell is going on, So let me play that video. And then he actually spoke to the police. Thank God that nobody got hit. But man, look at us.
Go, go, go. You finna shoot up the car.
Shoot up the car.
Yeah, go.
What the f? What is that? What the f is that? What the f was that?
He just shot at the car.
For what?
Let me call the police.
Man, f this.
Man, what? That girl was calm to me. You know what I'm saying? She get in the car, go, go, go. Like, what? You knew that this was about to happen. And the guy is just, I mean, I don't know. I probably would have hit every damn parked car on the street. I don't know. But that right there was scary as heck. But I ain't gonna lie, I laughed when I seen it just because nobody got hurt. You gotta laugh sometime. But I was just like, what? So here's what the guy ended up telling the news.
Last month, video went viral of an Uber driver in the middle of a dangerous ride. He had just picked up a passenger in West Garfield Park. Immediately, she tells him to drive. Seconds later, gunfire erupts. Tonight, the driver spoke to NBC5's V Win about the terrifying experience.
It was here inside of this vehicle where Uber driver John Williams thought he was going to die.
And it was just a terrifying experience. I mean, I have over 12,000 Uber rides. That's never happened before.
Dashcam video from March 17th shows him picking up a female passenger around midnight in West Garfield Park, and mere seconds into that ride, this happened.
Go, go, go. You finna shoot up the car.
What the f? What is that? What the f is that?
I don't know if another car's coming, and you know, I don't know whether she has a weapon, whether it's a gang thing. You know, I don't know what's going on.
In that moment, Williams says he stepped on the gas, hitting speed bumps and running through stop signs, trying to get away. Not sure why they were being targeted.
She just said it was an ex-boyfriend. Thank God he was a bad shot.
The female passenger in the back seat told him she would call police. Williams left stunned in the driver's seat.
Man, f this.
Uber released a statement to NBC5 telling us in part, quote, "The footage from this attack is shocking and we cannot imagine how terrifying this experience was. We are very grateful that no one was injured and have been in touch with the driver to check in. It's been weeks since the incident. The 52-year-old driver who lives in Bensonville says he is still trying to recover mentally and emotionally."
That's a slow process. The anxiety, anger. Sometimes I'm having trouble sleeping at night.
Williams knows it's going to take some time to heal. He's thankful to be alive to tell his story.
As an Uber driver in Chicago, you always gotta be on the lookout for anything.
Williams is hoping to get back to driving for Uber soon so he can save up money to start his trucking company. So far, the community has raised more than $300 on GoFundMe for him. He says that money will help pay for any counseling and therapy sessions.
So this man has a mission. He's trying to get a trucking company, so he ain't planning on stop Ubering. Please smack the thumbs up. Please share this out. But yeah, he's not planning on stopping because he have goals that he's trying to accomplish. But when I tell you Uber is not a safe job, especially in Chicago, I mean, and you just see when people live somewhere that is home to them. Like me, I ain't that far from Chicago, but I can't do the Uber thing, you know. And some people probably will say they can't do the DoorDash thing because it is equally dangerous. There was a case in Florida that I talked about a while back. It was a guy who was recently released from prison, and there was a DoorDash driver dropping off food for him that somebody else ordered, and this was the guy's last delivery. He snatched that driver in, and the next day they seen the suspect and some other teens helping carry out multiple trash bags. So what did he do to that man? You know, he was in different parts, different bags, and trying to hide evidence fresh out of prison. So those jobs are very dangerous. And then as I'm looking at these particular cases, as I'm looking these up, 6 days ago, a rideshare driver speaks out after the passenger was unalived. This was in Chicago. A Uber driver unalived after being sent to pick up a scammer's package. That's the one we already talked about. Man carjacked Uber driver in Chicago. picks up second suspect before unaliving 2 people. The rideshare passenger unalived in South Chicago. And then 6 days ago, it says Uber moves to enhance safety features as rideshare passenger unalived in Chicago. Chicago police issued a warning to rideshare drivers after a Uber driver was unalived. So it's happening a lot. Be careful out there. If you a driver, I know everybody trying to make their money, they living, but we just gotta be safe. Wow. So let me see what else the Uber driver from Chicago had to say. Now, this is from March 24th. They said that this had went viral, but this is my very first time seeing it. And I don't know what the outcome is, if the person was arrested. But I'm guessing not. And oh my God, it was another, this case was wild, y'all. Let me pull this up. Now, I actually already talked about this one. The one that I'm gonna talk about next is a Florida woman who had just driven to Florida. She was not even there 1 hour before somebody pulled up on her, jumped in her car, pointed a weapon at her, jumped in her car, and made her drive somewhere where they end up burning her car up, and she was found unalived. Now, her husband, she called her husband to let her husband know that she was being followed around. And her husband he told her, I don't know what he told her, but he didn't call the police. He didn't call the police at all. She didn't call 911 or nothing. So it makes no sense. Hold on, let me pull these things up. Yeah, it makes no sense that a husband will get a call from his wife saying that some people was following her and he don't call the police, didn't instruct her to call 911, but somebody that was sitting behind them in traffic, seeing what was going on, and they recorded it. Well, since all of that happened, because it's been developing, I've been watching it all week. And so when they first came out, they just had a woman that was carjacked. And as the time went on, we find out the day before that. Now, these particular people, the weapon that was used, it was a 10 millimeter bullets, right? So there was a crime the day before, and the people was using the same type of bullets. So they have connected these 2 crimes together. Yes, it is a lot. They've connected these 2 crimes together. And since all of that, they have arrested a deputy who, at the time that this happened, right? So this deputy knows the victim's husband, right? The deputy who is now arrested knows the victim's husband. And what he did was recorded conversation that he was having with some other law enforcement people, sent it to her husband, sent him addresses, I think, of the person that was talking, the lead detective. That's what it was. Yes, the lead detective, one of the deputies, recorded a conversation, sent it to the husband along with pictures and an address. So it sounds like to me that the husband knows something. To me it sounds like maybe it was some drugs involved. Like they said that the woman was coming here to visit family, but they found no record that she was here to visit family. The family that they did find didn't even know that she was there. So they wasn't expecting her at all. Right now, they said the husband is, he's working with law enforcement, but they don't know what's going on really. Everybody is suspects until it gets solved, if it ever does. But let me play the video.
She is accused of trafficking students along with her son. ABC 13's Jessica Willey is live.
Both victims targeted, one in Seminole County, one in Orange County, without an explanation for why, and possibly by the same people.
West News' David Daniel is live for us in Seminole County to walk us through the latest.
Basically shows that the carjacking and kidnapping case in Seminole County happened less than 24 hours after an Orange County shooting death in South Orange County. That was on Wednesday evening. Dozens of shots fired in that case, and there are suspected connections between them both. A Thursday afternoon carjacking in Seminole County, with witnesses hearing shots nearly 2 hours later, and likely the same SUV on fire in Osceola County.
Smack
with a
that
body
thumbs
inside.
up for me.
Late Wednesday in Orange County, a man shot and killed. Now we're told the green Acura seen in Seminole County was likely also at the Orange County murder scene. Rare 10mm rounds, also at both scenes.
It makes a better connection between the two crimes. That because of the rareness of the weapon and the round, that it's likely that our bad guys are the same bad guys that committed this crime.
At the towing company owned by 39-year-old Juan Garcia, the man killed in the Orange County shooting, a manager said it's tough right now, but they're focusing on their business and letting justice take its course. The husband of 31-year-old Catherine Aguavivas is cooperating with Seminole County investigators.
I've described the husband as cooperative. Quite frankly, I think he knows a lot more than what he shared.
Obstruction of a criminal investigation.
An added wrinkle, 33-year-old Francisco Estrella, an Orange County deputy and married to a family friend of Aguavivas' husband, now arrested.
Is the state's position that the defendant poses a danger to the community?
Estrella accused of recording a conversation with a Seminole County investigator secretly, then sharing it with the victim's husband.
We know that this deputy relayed this information to the decedent's husband, Miguel, but at this point in time, we don't know who else he may have
victims are being
shared
described as being targeted, but nobody's really saying why they were targeted. And also, the suspects have not been identified, but clearly those suspects are considered extremely dangerous.
Wow. So Juan Garcia is the guy that was unalived before. Now, I hadn't looked up that case at all because right before I came on here is when I found out that they now have linked these two cases together. So Juan Garcia was 39 and he has been described as a beloved husband, father, son, brother, and uncle. A service for him, for Garcia's family and close friends is being held on Wednesday. And they did a GoFundMe and have been established to assist the family with expenses. The Orange County Sheriff's Office said Garcia was hit on Wednesday, April 10th, about right before 10 p.m. Wow. In a Taft neighborhood, he was rushed to a local hospital where he lost his life. And did y'all see all of those markers out there? They said over 100 rounds was shot out there. So I would wake up every morning and go for a jog. He would always be the first one to say hello. One of his neighbors said he would help them with garbage cans and pull them back inside. Hold on. Detectives said multiple rounds were fired at the scene of Garcia's unaliving, and evidence gathered on the location has led law enforcement to investigate a possible connection to the kidnapping and unaliving of a South Florida woman, Catherine. And she was 39. What in the world is going on? So during a brazen afternoon carjacking, a day after Garcia's unaliving, authorities said a green Acura seen in the footage of an armed carjacking from Thursday, April 11th in Winter Springs and was located on Saturday. Wait, so according to the Seminole County Sheriff Dennis Lima, that a car had been towed by Garcia from an apartment complex in Orange County on March 19th for being illegally parked. We can confirm that we believe the Delhi shooting in a Taft on April 10th could be related to the carjacking. Our detectives are working tirelessly in partnership with the Seminole County Sheriff's Office to solve these cases and bring the predators to justice. So at the scene, a green vehicle matching the description of this green vehicle was located. And so they saying that the same green Acura that they seen with the woman getting inside of her vehicle was also seen on the scene of of Garcia's unaliving, and it said more than 100 rounds were fired at that location. One of the rounds found at the scene was a 10mm round. I absolutely think they're connected, but we'll have physical evidence that absolutely proves that. So the vehicle, a 2017 white Dodge Durango that the woman got carjacked in, it was found burned in another county with the body inside, and still have not confirmed it to be hers. So we know it's hers. And they said it was like 13 rounds at that scene. So man, listen. And then her husband still didn't call 911. So I'm just like, what do her husband know? It sounds like some other type of activities was going on that they don't want to talk about. But I don't know. The police ain't saying nothing right now. Besides, they definitely feel like it's some BS in the water. And they not calling her husband a suspect, but just listening at the last and I'm trying to pull it up because he said a lot in the last news conference. I think it was the chief that was talking. They gave an update. So I want to go to that right quick. And then we also going to talk about Sade. Man, my heart goes out to the mother of Sade, who would have been graduating. She was going to be graduating on next month, and her birthday is next month. Sade Robinson is the 19-year-old who was, she went on her first date with this guy, and she came back in pieces. They've been finding her all over Milwaukee in pieces. I don't know what this was all about, where she met the guy at or whatever, but he definitely shouldn't have went back to his house on the first date, and even shouldn't have been drinking nothing either. I'm not blaming her, but I'm just saying I wouldn't have, and it's just for future for other people that's listening. If y'all be meeting people through these apps or hooking up with people that you really don't know, man, always do it publicly and keep it public. But I mean, man, it really sucks. Shout out to V Peachy. Thank you so much for coming in. Yes, I was talking about a Uber driver, man, that was unalived because of a freaking scam. Shout out to Breeze Omega. Shout out to BFF in the building. Shout out to V Peachy in the building. Thank y'all for coming in. And shout out to Tamika Davis for holding it down, and Lisa in the building as well. Please smack that thumbs up, everybody. And if you don't mind, please share us out. So yeah, this is the update of the conference. Hold on. Let's listen at what he got to say for a minute.
Thank you so much for coming out for an update on the murder investigation involving
Can y'all hear it okay?
Aguas Vivas that happened on April 11th, which has been widely covered.
Hold on, I'm trying to find some
large updates that I'll provide today, and at the end, I'll open myself for any questions. As I've said in the early briefings of this is this ongoing investigation, and I think that timely delivery, as much information as we can, is incredibly important. The first is we're no longer looking for a green 2002 Acura. We've located that vehicle. The circumstances leading up to that are one that I'll describe out now, that the car was legitimately owned by a family in Winter Springs. They sold that to a legitimate car dealership back in December. Sold the car or traded the car in. As car dealerships typically do, they traded off to an auto auction. It went to an auto auction and then ultimately was purchased by a buy here, pay here owner operator who sold it from their lot in Seminole County. They sold it. It was still titled to the original owners in Winter Springs. It had not had enough time for to work out the transfer of title. And the people who purchased the car never came back to finish the additional paperwork. They still owed the person money. So the car has been out on the streets probably since February, unregistered, undocumented with a license plate. Any license plate that it had on at any given time was just temporarily put on, largely
So whoever had this car didn't even get it all sold properly. And this is why you don't want to, you want to make sure that cars and stuff is completely out of your name before you let somebody else be driving around committing all kind of crimes under your name. So now they don't know who was driving the car. But I believe they have the car, so they can test it for fingerprints and all of that stuff. But whoever these people were, they did not care. They do not care. They was real brazen how they did it. Jumped out with a big gun and just told that lady to open the door. That's another thing that they always say, and you never know how you are going to act if you are in this situation. But they always say, don't let them take you to a different location. Never let them take you to a different location. Now, I don't know how I would have acted, but the way that I would have liked to think that I would have acted is that I would have just pulled the hell off and sped off. He would have had to chase me. I wouldn't have unlocked my door and let him get in the damn car. Like, I mean, that's just what I'm feeling. What do y'all think? How do you think you would have handled that? I don't know if everybody here has seen that video, but please smack the thumbs up. Please share this out. We need to get it jumping up over here. Shout out to Rick One Ball in the building. Thank you so much for coming in. So because most of y'all was not here, and thank you to whoever shared me out. Whoever wasn't here, I'm going to play the video again for what I'm talking about right now.
Well, we now know that 81-year-old William Brock called 911 on March 25th, saying that he shot a woman on his property. When asked... Well, we now know that 81-year-old William Brock called 911 on March 25th.
Last month, video went viral of an Uber driver in the middle of a dangerous ride. He had just picked up a passenger in West Garfield Park. Immediately, she tells him to drive. Seconds later, gun...
Okay, my fault, y'all. Let me find the right video. I got them all scattered here. But so that's one of them, V. Peachy. I know you wasn't here. This was an Uber driver in Chicago.
Go, go, go. You finna shoot up the car.
Shoot up the car?
Yeah, go.
What the f? What is that? What the f is that? What the f was that?
He just shot at the car.
For what?
Let me call the police.
Man, f this.
She was too calm to me, y'all. She was too calm. He reacted just like I probably would have reacted, except I probably would have hit every damn car. But he like, what? What the heck? So anyway, man, the Uber drivers is in a freaking storm messing around with these people in Chicago. So be careful and get some dash cams, interior and out. But here's the video I was looking for.
Both victims targeted, one in Seminole County, one in Orange County, without an explanation for why, and possibly by the same people.
West News' Dave McDaniel is live for us in Seminole County to walk us through the latest.
Basically shows that the carjacking and kidnapping case in Seminole County happened less than 24 hours after an Orange County shooting death in South Orange County. That was on Wednesday evening. Dozens of shots fired in that case, and there are suspected connections between them both. Thursday afternoon carjacking in Seminole County, with witnesses hearing shots nearly 2 hours later, and likely the same SUV on fire in Osceola County with a body inside. Late Wednesday in Orange County, a man shot and killed. Now we're told the green Acura seen in Seminole County was likely also at the Orange County murder scene. Rare 10mm rounds also at both scenes.
It makes a better connection between the two crimes. That because of the rareness of the weapon and the round, that it's likely that our bad guys are the same bad guys that committed this crime.
At the towing company owned by 39-year-old Juan Garcia, the man killed in the Orange County shooting, a manager said it's tough right now, but they're focusing on their business and letting justice take its course. The husband of 31-year-old Catherine Agua Vivas is cooperating with Seminole County investigators.
I've described the husband as cooperative. Quite frankly, I think he knows a lot more than what he shared.
Obstruction of a criminal investigation.
An added wrinkle, 33-year-old Francisco Estrella, an Orange County deputy and married to a family friend of Agua Vivas' husband, now arrested.
Is the state's position that the defendant poses a danger to the community?
Estrella accused of recording a conversation with the Seminole County investigators secretly, then sharing it with the victim's husband.
We know that this deputy relayed this information to the decedent's husband, Miguel, but at this point in time, we don't know Who else he may
victims
have
are being
shared
described as being targeted, but nobody's really saying why they were targeted. And also, the suspects have not been identified, but clearly those suspects are considered extremely dangerous.
Yeah, y'all hear that? That is a whole lot. So this is what he's talking about right here. And so these people, man, they definitely knew exactly who they were after. It sounded like it was some illegal stuff going on. The reason why the police wasn't called, because like I said, what husband get a call and don't call the cops? I mean, and then why didn't she call 911 instead of calling her husband? Now, it sounds like, I mean, she's not from there. She was there for less than an hour. It sounds like whoever sent her set her up too. That's just my opinion.
Stolen tag. What's unique about a 2002 green Acura in the state of Florida, there were only 3 in the state
Shout
of Florida.
out to Aunt T
Two
in
had
the
been
building.
salvaged and only 1 existed in the state. When we look at records...
Now that is what I found very interesting. In the whole state, all they had was 1 active green Acura. Like, what's the odds of that? So this was so weird to me. So number one, it was a real brazen case. You bold. You just go up to this lady. She the first one at the light to take off, and you just go up to her like that. So that make it a different kind of case with the big weapon. And then they got these 10 millimeter bullets. And then the only green Acura in the whole state of Florida. Like, what? What's the odds? Hold on. Shout out to Ray Allen. Welcome in. Hey, Miss V. They better send that old man to jail. Yeah, he definitely going to jail. Well, he better. He had no reason. He did not. Think about it. If it was reversed, they would have found a way to lock an old black man up. Yeah, definitely. And he did get arrested, from my understanding. And he definitely, they said something about him looking at some other charges too. I mean, I understand it was a scam. He 81. He don't have no idea probably about the scams that's going on in this world with the AI and all of the stuff that they doing. But the woman in front of you posed no threat. She did not. She was a helpless old woman who could barely stand up to walk. I mean, really, man, come on. And he old. Like, that woman wasn't hurting him. She was screaming for help. And he did what he did because he wanted to.
The first time authorities came in contact with this was when it was towed on March 19th from an Orlando apartment complex. The car was backed in, parked illegally, probably had no tag on it at the time, and it was towed from an Orange County apartment complex on March 19th.
Now, this green Acura was towed March 19th. The guy that was unalived the day before this happened to the lady who was carjacked was the tow truck driver. Wow, that's crazy. Wait, hold on. Somebody know what's going on.
Was just temporarily put on, largely from a stolen tag. What's unique about a 2002 green Acura in the state of Florida, there were only 3 in the state of Florida.
3.
2 had been salvaged and only 1 existed.
2 salvaged and 1 existed. I thought that was the most odd thing right there. Like, hold on, let me take it back a little bit.
The circumstances leading up to that are one that I'll describe out now, that the car was legitimately owned by a family in Winter Springs. They sold that to a legitimate car dealership back in December. Sold the car or traded the car in. As car dealerships typically do, they traded off to an auto auction. It went to an auto auction and then ultimately was purchased by a buy here, pay here owner operator who sold it from their lot in Seminole County. They sold it. It was still titled to the original owners in Winter Springs. It had not had enough time for to work out the transfer of title. And the people who purchased the car never came back to finish the additional paperwork. They still owed the person money. So the car has been out on the streets probably since February, unregistered, undocumented with a license plate. Any license plate that it had on at any given time was just temporarily put on, largely from a stolen tag. What's unique about a 2002 green Acura in the state of Florida, there were only 3 in the state of Florida. 2 had been salvaged and only 1 existed in the state. When we look at records, the first time authorities came in contact with this was when it was towed on March 19th from an Orlando apartment complex. The car was backed in, parked illegally, probably had no tag on it at the time, and it was towed from an Orange County apartment complex on March 19th. The tow truck driver of that particular tow of this vehicle was a murder victim in Orange County that happened one day before our kidnapping murder. April 10th, a tow truck driver was murdered in Orange County. At that scene, a green vehicle matching the description of this green vehicle was located, and there was more than 100 rounds fired at that location. One of the rounds found at the scene were 10mm rounds, which is, again, an incredibly unique and uncommon round for us to see out on the streets. As you can imagine, the Orange County Sheriff's Office, this is their case. They've been working this thing aggressively, and they have been partnering with our organization on the murder investigation that we're looking into with Catherine to connect the dots between the two locations. We were able to locate this vehicle just recently on Saturday, April 13th, one day after we had the news conference announcing that we were investigating a murder. It once again was parked and abandoned in an Orange County apartment complex and was towed through a contractual tow service. When a tow service tows a vehicle that is illegally parked in an apartment complex, they have a responsibility to contact either the tag or through VIN to report into a system. That is how the VIN number was identified. Again, the VIN number was unique because there was only one 2002 green Acura left in the state of Florida.
How is that possible? In the whole state of Florida, they got the only car? Like what?
VIN number ran, we immediately knew it was our car. That vehicle then was collected, transferred to the Orange County Sheriff's Office to be evaluated for evidence with the Orange County team and the Seminole County team. So no longer looking for the car. We still are looking for information about people who are occupants in the car, whether at the Orange County case or our case. That part of the process is ongoing. But again, we want to thank everyone's help who have called in, reached out to Crime Line, done whatever, and especially the media for getting that information out. Second part that I want to brief up on is an Orange County deputy was arrested by the Seminole County Sheriff's Office, Francisco Estrella.
Now, this is the crazy part. Now, this is what makes me feel like, dang, the husband still ain't arrested. I guess they just gonna keep him out there to see what they can learn. But they definitely arrested the deputy. But see what I'm saying? They know people in places. They know folks. So what's really going on? What do this deputy have? What dog do he have in this fight? He must have a big one to do what he did.
Arrested last night by our agency. Now, when this initial report of the kidnapping was made, our detectives saw, as the public saw, the phone number on the rear window of that vehicle. When we called that phone number in the early stages of the investigation, the decedent's husband picked up the phone, came back to him. We identified ourselves. We had one of our detectives say who we were, what we were looking at, and that's how we disclosed that we were working a kidnapping case. Both the decedent's wife, Miguel, and her brother, Louis, who live in Homestead, provided whatever information they could on the phone and then agreed to travel up here to Seminole County. As they were traveling up here to Seminole County, Miguel and Louis reached out to a mutual friend, a childhood friend as it's described, who happens to be the Orange County deputy's wife. The wife of the Orange County deputy reached out and said, I've been contacted by this person who's identified by name as a detective with the Seminole County Sheriff's Office. Can you find out whatever information you can about this particular person? The deputy then picks up the phone, calls our detective and gives a false name and identifies himself as a detective with the Orange County Sheriff's Office.
Wow, he was really invested in this. He lied to get the information. I mean, you have to be pretty desperate to do that. Like, and how would you think that you wouldn't get caught? He was smart. Yeah, how do you think that you would not get caught up like that? Come on, dude.
Office wanting to get information about this case. Later in that conversation, he actually says he's a deputy sheriff, but for the entire time, he's getting a fake name as he's communicating with our folks. And our detectives obviously thought that communication was strange, especially the timeliness of it, just hours after we have identified that we're working a homicide case here. In addition to that, We knew that the Orange County deputy and wife accessed illegally the Florida David system and pulled up the unique characteristics, home address, photographs, signatures of our primary detective working the case, and all of the communication between the Orange County deputy
Wow, he put up all this lady information.
And our detective working the case was then recorded, all communicated back to the decedent's husband, who was on his way here. When he was here, I had mentioned in the briefing on Friday that...
Now, he collected all of this and gave it to her husband. Her husband sound like he the man. You know, and then they said they would have never known about it if the husband wouldn't have given them his cell phone. Once the husband gave them his cell phone, that's how they found out about all this other stuff.
He has been cooperative. He has provided, to the extent that he feels comfortable with, what was going on Friday. I think when I laid out those circumstances, I said that her vehicle was being rammed by the vehicle behind her. They didn't call 911. He didn't call 911. And then her phone looked like it was immediately turned off after that. So he's on his way up here. He is contacting whoever he can, and he cooperates to the extent that he feels comfortable with. Part of that cooperation is he gives us his phone. We ask for his phone. He gives us his phone. We forensically examine that phone, and that's how we found the communication between the Orange County deputy and his wife and him. It came through the examination of that phone. That is why he has now been charged with 5 felonies here in Seminole County. 2 of those felonies deal with recording and releasing the audio file of the detective's conversation with him. 2 of those charges relate to unlawfully accessing a police database, and particularly the David system that released unique characteristics of the home address, photograph, and signatures of the lead investigator in this case. And then the last charge is the use of a two-way communication device in the commission of these felonies.
Yeah, that's a whole lot. So I will say anybody that's willing to do all of that, they must have some dog in the fight. Maybe you know some people involved. What would you want to be doing that for? I don't know. What y'all think? That's a lot though. And so I'm gonna leave that case where it is, but that was the case out of Florida where the woman was and then for the tow truck driver to what? I don't know, but I guess they'll make sense of all of this soon. But I definitely want to know what's what with that case also, so I'll be keeping my eyes and ears open for that one. But there was some other, let me see what else I got in here, because I had a certain number of cases that I wanted to talk about today, just things that I've been seeing. And so y'all know that I also covered the case of this teacher and her son out of Houston. So I covered it, but I didn't get a chance to pull up any information, no pictures or nothing, because I was using YouTube at the time. And so I just wanted to come in and talk about this a little bit more. More information came out. Let's see. More people are coming forward about this situation. But one of the things I didn't get was Quanell X and the conference that they had, but I was playing that the first day that I talked about this. So this is a teacher who was recruiting teens from the high school that she worked at and feeding them to her son, who's a PIMP, getting them hotel rooms and all of this. And I guess it was girls from other schools also. Like, they trusted her. They thought she was a nice church-going lady. She was helping them. Like, to a teen, they probably thought that this was help because they was running away from home, allegedly. And she was there to pick up the pieces for their parents. And then it sounded like the school was involved too, because they didn't immediately get rid of her, but they did get rid of the lady who reported her. The lady who reported the situation was a mother of one of the students that this happened to. And so instead of them getting rid of the lady right here on this picture, they got rid of the woman that told. And Quanell X and everybody, activists out of Houston, he came and put the school on blast. The news was out there, and that's pretty much how people started paying attention to what was going on. But could you imagine having teenage kids going to a high school and this kind of stuff is going on? Like, it's predators everywhere. Now look at her. She just looked like a normal person. The middle picture, she looked crazy though. Her eyes bugged out like mad. She looked like a whole different person on that middle picture. But just looking at her, you wouldn't think that she was a bad person. It don't have a look. Now her son looked like a jackass just by the way his mouth is, the way his chin looked, the way he just looking. You know, he looked like he one of them. But anyway, I don't know how I will handle this if it was me. But I'm glad that we are getting to know all of the stuff that's going on in this world, and my job is to let y'all know, you know, things that hit my heart as I'm talking about it. I mean, as I see it. And shout out to V Peachy. Thank you so much for sharing me out. If you still here, I appreciate that. And please smack the thumbs up if y'all have not. Okay, so let me go. Let me see what else I got in here.
She is accused of trafficking students along with her son. ABC 13's Jessica Willey is live with the facts we have so far about this troubling case.
We've learned this teacher was arrested just before 5 this evening at Klein Cain High School, taken to the district police department, and then brought here to the Harris County Jail. Sheriff Ed Gonzalez says so far there are 3 teen victims, ages 15, 16, and 17, all female students and runaways. He says more students have already come forward, though, saying she tried to recruit them as well into disturbing allegations against a Klein ISD teacher. Kedria Grigsby now charged with 3 counts of child trafficking and 3 counts of compelling prostitution. The 42-year-old, a cosmetology teacher at Klein Cain High School. According to Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, investigators believe she recruited troubled teens from local high schools by offering them a place to stay, and she did it, he said, alongside her son, 21-year-old Roger McGee, who is also under arrest. Klein Cain's principal tonight sent a message to families notifying them of the arrest, clearly stunned by the allegations. Quote, "Let us be clear, any behavior harming children is deplorable," and appealing to parents, quote, "Please speak to your children about this matter, and if you have information, please report it to Klein ISD Police." The district has not disclosed how long she's been a teacher there, but according to Klein Cain's online cosmetology course information, she runs the program. Building people up and watching them soar is her passion, a slide says, also sharing several family photos. The school says she will never be allowed at any Klein ISD schools again. With potentially more victims, more charges are possible.
She is accused of trafficking students along with her son. ABC 13's Jessica.
Yeah. So that is what happened. And so one of the things, like, I didn't find out about this until when I did the video a few days ago. But apparently, like, the school had been known about this and they did nothing about it. And so that is what made Quanell X come out and do the conference saying that y'all been knowing about this, y'all been notified, and nobody did anything. So they basically was calling the school out, like, what y'all got to say about it now? What you gonna do about it? And they never did come and speak up about it. Let me see if I could find a little bit of that, because that really had me so weak though when I was first looking at that. Just because of how Quanell them did them, like, y'all gonna talk, y'all gonna say something. Let's listen to the first part, because it make a little bit more sense to me now that I done seen the rest of it. So we gonna catch the first part of this. This is Quanell X. He's an activist in Houston.
Be honest and tell the truth. This is one of the most horrendous stories we have ever had to deal with in my history as an activist. We're talking about a teacher, a trusted servant teacher on a high school campus, recruiting prostitutes from her students to work for her son as their pimp. This teacher, Miss Grisby, was allowed to remain on this campus after it was brought to the school administrator's attention that this was taking place in February of 23. This was brought to their attention. But
February of 23, it was brought to their attention. That's a whole over a year. That's crazy. Now, something that I'm going to read after this says something about November, so we'll see. But this is why they came at them like they did, because it's like, okay, what y'all going to do? And then this woman wasn't arrested until after this.
These same administrators, instead of thoroughly investigating the complaint, they retaliated against the teacher who brought it to their attention. When I spoke with the district the other day, I said, how could you not know or tell the parents about all of this? They swore for God that they did not know. They swore for God that they had no information about this until law enforcement called them and say, we're going to arrest Miss Grisby today. Well, I say to Klein, Kane administrators, you're a damn lie. We got the proof. Where's the dog? Open it up. Open it up. Let me show these lying snakes here at this school. And we want all the parents to see this. Here's a complaint back in February 23, a sworn statement by the teacher that named Miss Grisby, that named what law enforcement brought to her attention. Law enforcement went to her house about her daughter, who was one of the victims, and she came the next day and informed the school of what was happening in detail in the statement about the prostitution ring. Who's the teacher that was involved, and the young man's name that was involved. And the school district took a statement in the office with the principal and the district representative. And now you lying snakes want to tell the public that you had no idea about Miss Grisby. Oh no, that's a lie. We got it right here. We got text messages where she's texting back and forth with school administrators talking about what she brought to their attention. But yet they did nothing. The principal should be terminated. And I would say to the police chief, why they never brought it to your attention? It was brought to their attention. We got the documents. It was brought to their attention in detail in February of 23. Why they didn't do a duty, brother, to speak to you as police chief?
See? So that's what's even more scary, y'all, that we have a school that sit back and act like they don't know what's going on. They don't care to know, didn't care to get rid of the teacher for what she did or anything. And that's really scary. You got not just a teacher that's a bad apple, but you got a whole school that was willing to sweep this up under the rug. What? And so I'm looking at an article. Let me see. This article is from April 12th of 2024. But it has a timeline. And this timeline goes all the way back from 2022. And it says that, one day after Grisby's arrest, which is the mother, the Harris County Sheriff's Office executed a search warrant on an iPhone owned and used by Grisby, which detailed a timeline of the investigation that led to her arrest. So on November 8th of 2022, police with the Harris County Office Human Trafficking Unit was called out to a Hotel Royale located at the Springs regarding a runaway juvenile who was reported that she had been trafficked by a PIMP known as Rico, which is him. So who later determined to be Roger McGee, that's the teacher's son. The victim, who was in room 112, stated that McGee left the hotel with two other female victims in a gray Lexus. This, y'all, was November of 2022. So this stuff been going on for a long time. So during the interview, the victim also said McGee had given them all nicknames so the Johns wouldn't know their real names. She also said McGee forced the victim to give him all the money they made using Cash App, Zelle, or physical money. So anything that was used with Cash App or Zelle can be tracked. She also supplied investigators with McGee's Cash App username. Investigators also learned that room 112 had been checked out from November 7th to November 9th by his mother. Okay? So that was on November 8th of 2022. On November 9th of 2022, the Human Trafficking Unit received or returned to the room to conduct a follow-up investigation. The hotel provided security footage from the previous day, which showed both Grisby and McGee in a silver car. McGee exits the car with a victim, with his mama in the car. That's crazy. McGee exits the vehicle with a victim and they carry luggage into room 112. The license plate determined that the car is registered to his mother, this teacher right here. She's a cosmetology teacher, y'all. A different victim returned to room 112 and she was interviewed by investigators. She told police that she arrived at the hotel with her stepmom, who was determined to be Grigsby, to retrieve her belongings. She added that Grigsby had purchased the room for her and two other girls, and that all three engaged in prostitution. She added that McGee protects her. She added that McGee protects her while she's on dates because he is her boyfriend. Man, these girls is brainwashed. He's definitely not your boyfriend, but that's what they make them think. And investigators interviewed Grigsby the same day, and she told them, according to the search warrant, the victims asked her for a ride and that the victim was McGee's girlfriend. Wait a minute though, but how old is she? So she added that the three lived together, but she didn't know the other girl at the hotel, and the two other girls were friends. Grigsby acknowledged that the hotel was under her name, but she said she only booked it so McGee wouldn't be at her home with the girls. So this dude still live at home. So the mother is claiming that she got these rooms for them because she didn't want them to come to her house. What? That's what kind of stuff they got going on. That is insane. Now, what mother can say that she don't know what's going on? Because first of all, what is your son doing with three underage children? They said these was underage. The ages I heard was 15, 16, and 17, and he's 23, if I heard correctly. That's crazy. Hey, LP, you said you new to this? Yeah, this is wild. Out of Houston, a teacher helping her son take advantage of underage students that obviously had a problem at home because they didn't want to listen to the parents at home. So they run away and then run into the arms of some people like this. And this is what I'm saying. You don't know what people got going on. The days of letting your kids spend a night over somebody's house and all that is no more, man. And these days and times, you don't know what people got going on in their household. But who would have thought a mother and son? Like, she definitely don't look the type. Her job title don't make you feel like she the type. But wow, one of them parents that I guess would do any and everything for her son, no matter what, which makes him even more of a sorry man. How can you love and respect your mother but disrespect other girls and women? Like, that don't even go together. So investigators interview her. So the girls, so McGee, she got the room because she didn't want them to be at her house. Like, what? And so the same day McGee was arrested. The same day her son was arrested. So he was arrested in November of 2022. Hold on, let's see. On December 12th, the second identified victim provided a second interview. She said she and another girl were staying at Grigsby's home. Wow, they was staying at her home at first. She didn't remember Grigsby's by name, but stated that she was a short female who worked as a school teacher. Wow. She also said that she and the first victim had run away from their home in October to live with McGee and Grigsby, and that the girls made money by posting sexual photos as advertisement of themselves online. So wow, I mean, so they did actually live with her at some point, and then they ended up getting rooms. Like, what? I guess they was getting too big. She like, okay, we add more girls, they gonna need their own place. What kind of mother? What kind of woman? What type of teacher would do something like that. You're looking at these girls like that, you cannot be trusted at all, man. This is insane. Wait. Thank you for tuning us tonight, but I wasn't trying to read your stuff. Yep, makes you wonder about his relationship with his mother. I bet you he disrespectful to her too. Because if you have a respect for females, for a woman, I don't think that type of job would be one that you would want. That's nothing but disrespecting women. And these is girls who you know is lost, who you know need help. But you preying on them. You buying a room for your son to hang out with girls, that's weird. However you swing it. Exactly. And he grown as heck. I mean, girl, like, I don't know how she thought this was going to work out good in her favor. And I'm happy that they telling too. So she was cool with all of this. They posting pictures of themselves, advertising themselves online. I mean, I don't know if they knew that this was going to happen. This was all of that online posting was going to come to reality as well. So investigators served a grand jury subpoena to Block Inc., the parent company of Cash App, for the records involving McGee's account. And see, this is what I'm saying, y'all. Everything that's online is online for a reason. It helps the police with their investigation. The more stuff you put online, the more things they have access to. Pretty soon, I mean, the police ain't gonna have to do nothing. I think that's why it's hard for them too, when they have to work hard for it and you don't have all of this help. Because technology is solving these crimes by itself. Shoot. Cash App, you could pull up everything. So they did subpoena them. And I didn't even know the name of their parent company, Block Inc. But so for the records, they subpoenaed them for the records at Cash App. 2 days later, they had confirmed the account was registered to him. So then, dang, we still ain't in this year. January of 2023, investigators served another grand jury subpoena for Block Inc. for records involving Grisby's account. Over the next couple weeks, police also confirmed Grisby's identity on Zelle account and T-Mobile and a T-Mobile phone. So, boy, her name on everything. Police obtained a search warrant of McGee's cell phone. The phone's screen was completed in March of 2023. Okay, so why didn't nobody? I'm kind of confused now. Because if they knew about this stuff all the way from 2023 and it's 2024 and this woman is just now getting fired, it wasn't just the school that dropped the ball, it was everybody, right? This don't even make sense to me. So everybody knew about this. February 17th, police interviewed the victim's mother. She tells them that her daughter is a victim of trafficking. She stated that Grisby is an employee at Klein High School and possibly recruits young girls to work with her and her son from the school. She said her daughter met McGee on Instagram and she believed she had been groomed and held against her will at Grisby's home. She also told investigators that her daughter had told her she had been beaten over the course of time as a prostitute, and there was a total of 8 of them working for McGee. So a total of 8. What? This is insane. This is way worse than I thought it was. Like, now I see why Quanell was like that. I mean, he was calling them out crazy, calling them all kind of snakes, and then offered them to come up and talk, and they said nothing. But then they later gave a statement talking about it was false what he was saying. No, it wasn't. Because if this woman didn't get fired from her job, that tells us that everything that she was doing, y'all was okay with it. When somebody brings something to your attention, if you don't agree with it, then that's how you get out of it, by getting rid of the person. And they didn't do that to just now. So that's crazy though. She stated that Grisby is an employee at Klein and possibly recruits young girls to work with her and McGee from the school. She said her daughter met McGee on Instagram and she believes that she was held against her will. She also told investigators that her daughter had told her she had been beaten over the course of the time. Okay, so according to the search warrant, there was no activity on the case after the interview. There was no activity after that interview until 2024. That's crazy, y'all. So you tell me who's the damn problem? Can somebody please tell me who's the problem? Everybody. It's like they just didn't want to deal with this from a school. What? Nah, that don't even make sense. How was they able to bury this for 2 years? So that was January. That was February, actually. And that's the date that Quanell gave. So by February is when Quanell and them got involved, but they knew before that. They knew since November of 2022, according to what I'm reading. And so after that interview that this girl said that she was all of this beating, 8 of them and all of this, they didn't say nothing until now. Almost a whole year, y'all. Okay, so nothing was done after that. February 17th interview. But wait a minute, hold on. January. Yeah, this is 2023. Okay, so nothing happened until March 21st of 2024. Now we're current. And it says investigators reviewed McGee's phone records, which show texts between him and the victims. So a conversation from October 30th, 2022 shows a victim asking McGee if he has received a Zelle payment. McGee replies that he can't confirm because his mother is asleep. Wow. Another conversation from the same date shows McGee providing a girl with Grisby's Zelle information for a transaction, for a prosty transaction. Dang, on the same date shows... another conversation from the same date shows McGee providing a girl with Grisby's Zelle information for a transaction. A conversation between Grisby and a victim on November 4th of 2022 shows Grisby supplying the money for the hotel and the victim referring to her as Mama. Wow. So on March of 2022, a search is conducted at some Securus Technologies, an incarcerated communications provider. The search is regarding phone calls that McGee made while incarcerated. Oh, okay. Wow. So they pulling all those records too to see what he was talking about on the phone. So her son was arrested, but she was not. And she wasn't never fired. The return of that warrant revealed that on November 9th of 2022, around 7:30 a.m., hours after McGee was booked into the Harris County Jail, he spoke with his mom on the phone. During the conversation, Grisby appeared to allude to her job. Grisby said, "I need to call my sub. Can you hold on? I need to call my sub. Can you hold on?" During the conversation, according to the court document, the mother and son went on to discuss her taking one of the victims to the hotel to retrieve a bag of clothes. Wow. On April 8th, police received an arrest warrant for Grisby in collaboration with Klein ISD Police Department. Grisby was arrested in her classroom that day. Wow. And that's where it ends. So some of the people are saying it took them a year to help these girls. Actually, 2. It took longer. Wait, see if it took longer. All because the sheriff's office misled the ISD regarding their investigation of the teacher. I understand their desire to make a stronger case, but not to the expense of at least 8 girls, probably more. So I hope KISD learned not to trust what they are told by the police moving forward. How do they know how do they know that is what happened? Now we know how bad the Klein schools is. Listen, I don't know. All I know is when they first got these calls, when they first got this information that this kind of stuff was going on, they should have immediately shut it down and investigated. Like, you don't keep somebody there that these people that have all these allegations against them. You get rid of them while you investigate, and then you bring them back if you need to. This is absolutely ridiculous. Shout out to 755. Yes, it absolutely is crazy. These people have lost their minds. I bet half the reason they ran away was because they had somewhere to go and exploit themselves. They had somewhere to go and exploit themselves. I bet you it was because they just didn't want to listen to their parents. They had rules at home, just whatever. Maybe some of them even had issues at home. But definitely manipulation across the board. Everybody should be fired, though. Yes, thank you, 755. Yeah, everybody should be fired, though, just like Quanell said. I mean, there's no way that anybody should stand up for somebody like this. I mean, her son, the way that her son is, tells us a lot about her, too. And the fact that she's doing stuff like this, we see what kind of mother she was and why he feel like he was one of them dudes that was coddled all his life, I'm sure. His mother do everything for him. Obviously, to get involved in this, look at him. He looked like a spoiled brat. That's what he looked like. His mama he can't do no wrong. She raised him for her, not for the world. Like, that's what it looked like to me. A girl in a boy's body. Look at his mouth. Just disgusting. To do this to your own people, to do it, period. And to have your mother involved, like, that is sick. That is sick on so many levels. I wonder where's his dad at? What kind of dad did he have for her to do something like that? She gotta be a scumbag too. You know what's going on. Exactly. He pouting. That's what he looked like he doing. Grown ass man sitting up there pouting, but you call yourself somebody PIMP. I'm disgusted at these people. Seriously. Okay, I'm off of them, but man, look, we got to pay attention to what's going on in the schools. Tell everybody this could be happening at the school that your loved ones go to, and it could be getting covered up. So if you have kids that you care about in school, get involved with what's going on up there, because the people that work around kids, the people that seek jobs to work around kids, you don't know what they got going on, and it seems like they don't check these people well enough. It really don't. So the next case we're going to go on to is Sade. Poor Sade, and we talked about her already too. She was the 19-year-old that went missing in Milwaukee. Let me move this out the way. Yeah, she went on her first date with some guy. I don't know yet. I still don't know where she met the guy at, but she was very excited to go on this first date with this dude that turned out to be a piece of crap who only wanted to cause harm to her. You know, he didn't have
Well, we now
nothing
know that
good in
81-year-old William
mind.
Brock called 911 on March 25th, saying that he shot a woman on his property.
His plan was to prey on a 19-year-old. Now, one thing that shocked me when I was live, I'm like, reading, I'm like, this dude was 33 years old. What did you want with a 33-year-old? I mean, with a 19-year-old at the age of 33. So somebody that knew him, that had been at his place before, said that he had like a sex dungeon in his basement, and he had asked the person if they wanted to go down there, but they didn't. But they also said, you know, he didn't seem like the type of person that would have finished the job anyway. You know, like he wasn't the type of person that would have finished the job. But one of the things that he did, he goes on a date. They pretty much find out everything through her cell phone, through surveillance cameras of the places that they went. So they went to a restaurant that he used to work at. She had texted him saying that she felt like seafood. She was very excited. She had been talking about it, telling different people, you know, she was excited about this date. And the reason why they found out the next day, because she didn't go to work. She didn't go to work. And she's the type, no matter what she got going on, she's coming to work. When she wasn't answering her phone, she didn't come to work. A friend reported her missing, is what I seen. And so it went from there. But let me pull up some information so I can tell y'all exactly what we're talking about here. But in the meantime, let me play this video.
Sick son of a hurt my baby. This sick son of a is gonna pay. This is justice for Sade. Who the would do something like this to my beautiful baby? She hurt nobody. She harmed nobody. I hate this. And so when he's in inside, I want you to rape and torture that like till I get to hunt him eternally. Torture that and rape him in the population till I can get to him and hunt the out of him. Justice for Sade. Justice will be served for my baby. Justice.
I got one thing to say, and this is gonna be it. Sade was more than a person. She was an angel. Not having her right now is very painful. We need justice for Sade. Me and my family would never be okay. My sister and parents won't stop shaking, and it ain't because they're nervous. Imagine trying to bury your niece with no body for the service. I need justice for Sade. I have nothing more to say. Your name, sir?
Sick son of a.
Wow. So some of y'all know that I've been covering a couple cases involving, astrologers and readers and stuff like that. And y'all heard her, she brought up, hunting and ancestors and stuff like that. So she might practice a little bit of that too. But she is a grieving mother. This girl, man, Sade was set to graduate next month. Her birthday is in May. She was set to graduate with her associate's degree in criminal justice. And this happened to her. She has a sister too that looked to be maybe 13, 12, somewhere like that. So it was just the two of them is what it sounds like. But her mother is devastated like anybody would be. 19 years old, hadn't even got a chance to live her life yet. Everybody speaks highly of her, and they say that she was fun-loving. She was always the type that was going to make the day better. She was always smiling. She was always happy, and everybody loved her, so she was an extrovert is how they explained it also. So I do have a little bit of a timeline. It says since Robinson went missing, her family has been asking for donations for efforts. But Wednesday night, the GoFundMe said the money will be used for a memorial service. So far, law enforcement has not confirmed the death of Robinson or connected her to the body parts. Now that's old, obviously. So this article, let me see. This was actually written. It was written on the 11th. So they do have it's a little bit of a timeline on here. And I'll look for a newer, more up-to-date article. But I just wanted to go over this timeline. It says, let's see. On Monday, April 1st, is when Sade went missing. So on April 2nd, her family said her car was found torched near the intersection of 30th and Lisbon in Milwaukee's north side. That same day, a severed leg was found at Wardmont Park, 11 miles from where her car was found burned. So when they said that they found a leg, I wondered if it was the one with the tattoo on there, which would make it easier for the family to be able to identify it if it was the one with the tattoo. But she might have had tattoos on the other one. She had quite a few tattoos, so she could have had some on the other one. But they said the leg was, it was taken. Man, it's gruesome, y'all. Off at the hip. Sawed off at the hip. And they said that you could typically be able to find out what type of tool was used by what the bone looks like. But man, this dude is sick. Godly. Okay, so TMJ4 crews found Milwaukee County Sheriff's deputy searching a home on Oklahoma and 39th Street. The same day, the 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson was taken into custody. And this is the guy that they have arrested for her unaliving. This dude was also seen on the bus because if I'm not mistaken, and I'll probably read that, what he did was he took her car, drove it to wherever, torched it, whatever he did, but then he caught the bus back. So they got him. They got him everywhere. They got him on the bus. They got him walking on the street. They got him, they got him. So I'm happy about that. It seems, the cameras work sometime and sometime they don't in some cases, but they was able to get him. He thought he was smart. Stupid. And I really do believe this ain't his first rodeo. I remember I was watching one of the videos and they have found a bone. My guess is that I never did hear what the outcome of that is, even though I heard it was 3 different places that they found parts. But when they said a bone, I'm thinking it wasn't hers. I did read somewhere that somebody said they found other people out there. I don't know how true it is, but I don't believe that bone was hers because she wasn't bone yet. It wasn't like that, according to the leg. I know they found a leg in one area and a foot in another area and a bone. And dang, man. So there was also another fire that happened in the midst of all of this stuff going on while they were searching. And also when they were searching, they came across some homeless people that had built their own little house like on the hill, homeless house or whatever. I don't know what it was made out of. But a lot of the searchers were shocked that people actually live that way. People be thinking they slick going off into these parks, doing all of the stuff, and somebody might be watching you because people are living like under viaducts and near viaducts and train tracks and all of that kind of stuff, man. So, the important to note that TMJ4 has chosen to identify Anderson because of the nature of the allegations. He has not yet been charged. That was then. He is charged. So on Friday, April 5th, the deputies found more body parts near the 30th and Lisbon, the same location where her car was set on fire. So that's another thing, y'all, that I find so strange is that they found her car the very next day. So that was on the 2nd. But they didn't find, they went back to the same place and found more stuff. The same place where her car was at. Why didn't they search that location good the first time? And that's what some of the searchers was saying, that they wanted to go back to certain places because certain areas hadn't gotten searched well, And so anyway, yeah, they said they found the same day the 33-year-old Andrew or Maxwell Anderson was taken into custody and identified as a person of interest in the relation to the severed leg was found in Kaduhi. I don't know these words. It's important to note that Anderson, because of the nature, okay, we ain't reading that. So April 5th, the deputies found more parts near 30th and Lisbon, the same location where her car was set on fire. Saturday, April 6th, Robinson's family searched the area of 30th and Lisbon and found Robinson's blanket. So there was a picture of her blanket laid out. Her blanket was there with her picture of her and her dog on this blanket. And so, man, golly, this dude scattered her property and everything in so many different places. It's really sad. Y'all, please smack that thumbs up if you have not. Shout out to Bronze in the building. How you doing, Bronze? Shout out to y'all. Please share this out, y'all. Please share this out. Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. She did not deserve that. I mean, but 19 and 33, it makes me wonder, did she know that he was 33 or did he lie to her? And I still don't know how she met him. But it could have been at the restaurant. He worked at a restaurant at some point. I heard, because they said the restaurant they went to was one that he used to work at. And so I just wonder, though. I'm sure all of that'll come out. But so the 6th of April, Robinson's family searched the area and they found her blanket. And the Milwaukee police came out to search the area again and found even more human remains. But the only thing they have told us about so far is a leg and a foot. That's all I've heard. Now, I don't know what all these remains they talking about. And like I said, this article was older, but we gonna keep reading it. So April 7th, Robinson's family comes back to the same area they did on the 6th and find human remains again. Now, one thing I heard, like when they said they found the foot, they found flesh too. But those are the only parts that I heard. And that's why her uncle was like, how can we have a funeral and not have all the parts and stuff? And it's just like, oh my God, what did he do? And I mean, she was found, the leg was found on a beach or something. So she could have very well been put in that water and they might not ever find the rest of her, man. And it's just heartbreaking because she didn't deserve it. Nobody deserves that. Dang. I mean, she all excited about this date and this is the outcome. She had to come home in pieces. And Yeah, the same night, family and friends of Robinson went back to the park, and in the search area, the family said they found what they believed to be body parts. So Thursday, April 11th, it's now been 11 days since Robinson went missing. The sheriff office is heading the investigation and hasn't returned a call. Okay. Yeah, man. So I don't know. Let me see. Where are they today? But I was on her mother's page. Let me pull up a few things. I mean, this mother is hurt. The family is devastated. You know, you got plans. Your daughter is graduating. You so proud of her. She's becoming a woman and not even on her own yet, and all of this stuff, man. Just come on, golly. When I see stuff like this, it's hard for me to believe that this is somebody's first rodeo doing something so heinous. You know, I mean, he definitely was stupid. I mean, everything he did, he definitely wasn't no pro at it, but they ain't. But that they're still, no less dangerous. So I was on her mother's page and she said, "Justice for my daughter. I love you so much, baby girl, and I miss you. Gone too soon, but never will be forgotten. This MF will pay for what he did to you. He will be eternally haunted for the rest of his life and death. Our ancestors go deep in heaven and all other realms." She also said, "Justice for my daughter. I love you, baby, for life. I promise to pray. Pray for my baby, y'all, as she is greeted by our ancestors. Your assailant will be God in spirit and eternal realm forever." So yeah, she definitely is talking like some of those cases, the astrology cases, tarot stuff that I was just did a case on last week or something. If y'all did not check that out, please do. It was a lot going on after the eclipse happened in the tarot land. But look at this girl, man. She did not deserve it. Didn't even get a chance to live her life because of this scumbag that preys on women. And according to some other people that live in Milwaukee, like black women have been targeted in Milwaukee for the longest. The crime rate is ridiculous. Milwaukee is off the map. That is not a place you want to go visit or nothing. So some of these are some areas where where she was found, some stuff was found, like the location where a burning car was at and remains on 30th. Then on Monday they found some more remains. 39th, the location where he was arrested. They found a human leg here, and then this is the place that they went to eat at. And so another thing that they did is they went to his house and did that. I mean, they decorated his house full of pink, which was her favorite color. They they did all that. And so here's some more pictures. They started at daytime, but it ended up being night by the time they got done. And I was reading somewhere that they already took it down the very next day. Some people took all that stuff down. And that's some nice stuff. I'm sure whoever took it down probably bagged it up to keep it. I'm sure they didn't throw all that stuff away. They had pink vests out there and stuff that they were searching in and all kind of stuff. She loved pink. And I also heard that the house is for sale, but I don't know how true that is. But I guess he was known in the community or whatever, because let me see, because her mother had wrote something about, let me see what she said. I think those are yeah. Yeah, see, this BA6 serial and his family will be revealed. Don't do no business with none of his family, etc., acting like they're prestigious community, well-to-do members owning insurance agencies. raising and knowing your son is a psycho, and supporting him unaliving and dismembering my daughter, and hiring an evil attorney defending them type of people. Black girls been going missing a while in Milwaukee. My baby had to be the angel that was chosen to reveal this sick bee. Justice will be served for my baby and our community of missing black girls. Justice for Sade. So I don't know about his family. That's the mother. I don't know about his family. But she just said that they own insurance companies and known around the city and got their son a lawyer or whatever. And she definitely ain't feeling that part. My heart goes out to this mother. Man, really goes out to this mother. And man, Sade, her little sister, and everybody that's affected by this. I know they said that where she worked at, they closed for the first 2 or 3 days after this had happened. And they were helping a family, trying to get answers, you know. So these are some of the people we've been talking about. The other two on the end, what's her name? Nikita Davison. I talked about her already also. And the guy with the towel on his head, that was her boyfriend who unalived her, ran up, hit her in traffic, jumped crazy with her, popped her right there, threw her in the trunk, and took off, is what I'm hearing about that. And they end up finding his sorry behind, hiding in abandoned houses. And I seen a video of that too. The community was out there looking for her, and I mean looking for him. You know, they was looking for her car at first, and you could hear her kids in the background saying, "Where's my mom?" and all of this stuff. Just sad. But he definitely did that, and people suspected that she was unalived because they knew that she had been hurt. And for somebody to just do that in traffic, man, these people is getting so bold, more bold out here. It's scary. Yeah, it is. You want to know why? Just sick. Some people, if you talking about this white guy, I mean, people that do stuff like that, that's serial. You are a serial type guy, and I don't believe that this was his first rodeo. I believe that there's some more stuff going on. I definitely believe it's something else to that. Let me make sure it ain't no updates before I get off though. But everybody need to go where they need to be at. You know, nobody needs to go free behind these crimes. And it's just like I said, these men, like, I mean, what was it? I don't know. Was she trying to break up with the guy? I'm talking about this Nikita Davison, because I went on her page and she had just updated her profile picture of him and her 4 days before this happened. It was April 6th. I think this happened on the 10th. But whatever it was right before this happened to her. She had just updated her picture with this loser that took her life. It ain't never a good reason besides they a coward. They would never fight a freaking man, but they want to control a woman that's trying to leave them for whatever reason. And it's usually because, you know, they abusive. You know, it's crazy. Let me see. Make sure I don't have no videos in here I didn't play. And that's the only one that I didn't get. Please subscribe and press that notification bell and thumbs up. Please subscribe and press that notification. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. For sharing. For look, man, this dude just trying to get a couple dollars and you go pick somebody up and she jump in the car talking about go, go, go. Look, these people think Uber is the new getaway driver. Like, what the hell? This is not okay, but I'm telling y'all, like, I laughed. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm laughing still because if you think about it, it's the lightest case that we have talked about thus far. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's the lightest case that we have talked about because nobody was hurt in that case. But I be damned if I be a Uber driver in Chirac. No, sir. But he's still waiting to go back to work, y'all. He's trying to buy him a trucking company or something. Whew. So yeah, so this guy, okay, let me put his picture back up right quick. I got her on the thumbnail. I definitely don't want to leave here without touching on it. And my intentions was to talk about the cases that I spoke on. I had went YouTube live and I wasn't able to put nothing up, obviously, but I do want to touch on Nikita Davis, so I'm gonna read an article. These are the other two on the end. And so this actually happened. Hold on. Like I said, he did this mess, and then his coward butt want to go and hide in some abandoned homes around there. So it says just after 3 p.m. Friday, U.S. Marshals and the Birmingham Police Department located a burgundy vehicle in a wooded area, in a dead end area in the 2800 block of 18th Place. When the vehicle was opened, officers found the body of 40-year-old Nikita Davison. So the subject of an urgent kidnapping investigation. So earlier that day, the Jefferson County District Attorney Office issued a warrant for the arrest of 37-year-old Cedric Robertson on the charge of first-degree kidnapping in connection with Davis's disappearance. Law enforcement officers confirmed that he was taken into custody in the 2100 block of Northland Avenue about 6:40 p.m. Robertson is believed to have taken Davison from the car crash, which he caused, I'm sure. The way that I pictured it is that he crashed into her car to get access, to make her stop. He unalived her and threw her in the trunk and then took off in her car. So Robertson is believed to have taken Robertson from the scene of the car crash Thursday near Elm Cemetery. When officers arrived at the scene, they found evidence of a possible assault or a shooting, but no one was present. Court documents revealed that a witness of the crash claimed to have seen Robertson shoot a woman before putting her into the trunk of her own car and driving away. Robertson reportedly left his cell phone behind at the scene. What a dummy. You're stupid. So if they didn't know who he was, they knew who he was now. They got his whole cell phone. Like, if you lose your cell phone, that is better than your driver's license, okay? So he left his cell phone behind, and further court documents show that Robertson pleaded guilty to kidnapping a different woman in 2018. He should have never been out. Like, he just do this. This is what he do. And this is why we got to look at these people's records, because has she known that? Like, if I'm thinking about dating somebody and I see that he done kidnapped a woman, I'm done. What? This just broke us up. You got that in you, I'm good. And we are living in the times where you gotta look people up. You can't just trust people for their word. You know what I'm saying? You can't just believe that people just want good from you, or they want to treat you well. You gotta make sure. Because he already had this on his record and he turned around and did the same thing to her. Obviously, I'm guessing he didn't unalive the other lady, but anyway, and then they gave him a slap on the wrist because he had been serving a 3-year community corrections sentence since August. What is community corrections? Not locked up. That's what I'm gonna assume. Community corrections is what, cleaning out trash or something in the community? Like, what is this? So Sunday evening, April 14th, a capital murder warrant was also issued on Robertson, who remains in the county jail. Yeah, well, that's where he should have been at the first kidnapping he did. Like, how do you get community, what? Community anything? It don't sound harsh enough. What in the world? So what y'all think about this? What are y'all thinking? So let's see now. The suspect in custody, Jarvis County, has no bond. Homicide detectives will present the case to the Jefferson County attorneys. Hold on. One thing that I seen when the people were out there looking, they knew that he was in the area. They knew. They was like I don't know how they was able to track it, but they knew he was in them houses. They was checking. It was like a whole block of abandoned houses, and I remember seeing that they caught him going from one house to another house. So that's how they caught us. Sorry, but that's what he did. Somebody that was probably trying to get away from him. Let's see.
Seen and entered that vehicle. They observed the victim, Nikita. Team located a burgundy vehicle.
Breaking news: Birmingham police updating us on what's happening at that crime scene behind.
When officers arrived on the scene,
This was 4 days ago, y'all. So all of the stuff is fresh, and you could hear her family in the background devastated.
Vehicle, they observed the victim, Nikita Davidson, inside of that vehicle, deceased. Nikita Davidson is the victim of a kidnapping investigation that occurred on April the 11th of 2024 at 6th Avenue Southwest in MLK at approximately 2:11 a.m. When South Precinct officers arrived to that scene, they observed evidence that Nikita had possibly been shot. We also believe that Cedric Dwayne Robertson placed Nikita inside of her vehicle and drove it away from the scene. Cedric Dwayne Robertson has an outstanding warrant right now for kidnapping first degree. We also want to let everyone know that Mr. Robertson is believed to be armed and dangerous, and we believe that he is still in the Powderly neighborhood and possibly the Jones Valley community as well. If there is anyone who sees Mr. Robertson, so please give us a call directly at 205-254-1764 or call 911 Emergency Services. If you wish to remain anonymous, please call Crime Stoppers and receive a cash reward up to $5,000 for the capture of Mr. Robinson. That number is 205-254-7777.
How did investigators get to this location? Did they receive a tip? Did somebody in the neighborhood call?
Mr. Robertson is from the Powderly area, so we believe that he would possibly be in the location. So the U.S. Marshals, along with the crime reduction team, were out searching.
So did the U.S. Marshals find the vehicle, or did a resident find the vehicle?
The U.S. Marshals and the crime reduction team.
To have this happen with a search group nearby, it's got to be painful for y'all. What's the scene been like over the last 2 hours as y'all work into information?
It has been very heartfelt. It's sad. It's a very, very sad situation. It's a sad day, and it bothers us deeply because Nikita had 4 children who will be without a mother.
As far as the search for him, are there any leads, or at this point, like they're actively searching for him?
They are actively searching for him. We have had some tips to come in, and we have been following up on every single tip that comes in, and we will continue to follow up on every single tip that comes in.
Do you believe that he's still in that Jones Valley, top of the area, or appears somewhere near?
We still believe that he's in that area.
Do you have any message for him?
The only message that we have for Mr. Robertson is that we are actively searching, and we will not stop until we find you.
And they found his sorry self sitting up there hiding in an abandoned house like a freak, like the coward that he is, to do this to this woman. And for what? And for what? Let me see if I got any, because I did go to her. Wait a minute, did I find her page? I don't think I did find a page for her. It was hard trying to find her page. A lot of times people don't have their pages under their own name. Let me see. Is this her? Yes. So let me read this. I want to tell you something, but I don't want to scare you. Where you at? Answer the phone. So this is a message that she sent to somebody. I really love this man. He is the only person. I can't see everything though. Wait a minute. Ever treated me. Wait, hold on. Let me get to a point where I can see. His drinking, like he be really. Okay, this is the only part I can read. So his drinking, he be like really trying to change for me, cousin. I just want him to marry me before I die, cousin. The change in my body, I feel like it will be this year. I pray not. I pray not. What? Hold, obviously I ain't read this, y'all. I just had screenshot it. Wow, wait a damn minute. Hold on. His drink, wait. I really love this man. He is my person, cousin. Young as be taken care. He treats me better than anyone ever treated me. And he, wait, cousin, he is also his drinking. Like he be really trying to change for me, cousin. I want him to marry me before I die, cousin. The change in my body, I feel like it will be this year. I pray not, but I know I have not been taking care of myself with my diabetes, but I'm about to do better. And I pray it's not too late, cousin. Just pray for your big cousin. You know I'm the oldest. Don't spread the word, please. You know, you like my only cousin I bond with. I have no friends, nobody to talk to. I don't care that I don't either, cousin. Make sure I get cremated too. Don't want nobody looking at me in no casket. Oh my God. I don't have the date when she wrote this, but wow. Wow, man. That's crazy. She felt like she was gonna die. But she thought that it was gonna be because of her diabetes, and it sounded like she just, I mean, when you say that you basically like she had diabetes and admit she wasn't taking care of herself, it's almost like she felt like she didn't have nothing to live for. It's kind of how it seemed to me. Like, that's sad. That is really sad. I wish I could find her page though, but somebody might have sent that, and it was a little bit more. Well, no, I do remember it being the end, like when she said she didn't want nobody looking at her in the casket. Wow. Wow. Man, it is raining cats and dogs out there. I was going to go to work, but now I'm like, shoot, I don't want to get out there. I knew I should have went out earlier. It is coming down. Yeah, I'm definitely not about to go out there. But anyway, y'all, I hope y'all got a lot out of this. I'm gonna get out of here. I am not gonna keep y'all too much longer. What we at over 2 hours. Yeah, I ain't gonna keep y'all no longer. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I might pop up on my other channel though. I was planning on going out, but from the looks of it, they don't want me out there. Not today. But anyway, y'all, thanks so much for hanging out. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. And we're going to get up out of here. Y'all have a great rest of the day. And I'll see y'all in these YouTube streets.
What in the fuckity fuck kind of shit is this?
Wow. Please subscribe and press that notification bell and thumbs up. Please subscribe and press that.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going to jail. You going to jail. Lock his ass up.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. For sharing me. For sharing so much. For sharing me. Thank you for so much. Drop the good fire and horns for me on the way out, y'all. Shout out to 755 and Shandy Cheek Music. Peace and love, y'all. We out.